Morning, boys and girls. Lesson 11 on the general ledger. This exercise is still exercise 42, so it follows, lesson 11 follows on lesson 11. No. Alright, we've done the first three columns, your source document, general ledger debit and general ledger credit, that we've done. So we have to look at the accounting equation, assets, owner's equity and liability. Alright? Remember, when you do accounting, you've got a transaction. For each transaction, there's a debit and a credit. So remember, I said it's like a scale. If you put something on your debit side, you need to have another account on the credit side with the same amount. You always have to be in balance. Alright? And then accounting also exists of three components: assets, owner's equity and liability. Now just quickly, liability, the debit's minus, your credit side is a plus. In grade 8 you only have to know the definition of a liability, that the business owes money to another person or business, and then examples, your creditors control or your bank overdraft or a loan. Alright. But what's very important in grade 8 is your assets and your owner's equity. You need to know the definitions, you need to know the examples, everything. So when we look at assets, we need to remember we've got two different assets in grade 8, but there's actually three. So it's land and building, your equipment and your vehicles. That's your fixed assets. Then your current assets, that's your trading stock, your bank, your petty cash, your cash float, and I forgot one. Debtors control. Alright? And then your assets, the debit side is a plus, your credit side is your minus. So when you purchase assets like land and building or equipment or vehicles, then your asset account will increase. But now in grade 8 we only look at cash transactions. So bank is involved with every transaction. So when we did this, remember I said, we've got a bank account. I called it asset bank because remember, bank is an asset to you, and it's got a debit side. It increases when you receive money. So money flows into your bank account, and when you pay out money, your bank has been credited because you made a payment. Money flows out of your bank account. So with each transaction in grade 8, you have to remember bank will be part of each transaction. Alright? And then your owner's equity. Owner's equity it's what belongs to the owner. So the owner initially started the business with capital. Capital will always be credited because it increases your owner's equity. Alright? And then we said, okay, the owner is also allowed to take money out of the business for personal use. That is drawings. So what happens then? Your owner's equity decreases, so drawings will always be debited. But then, why would this owner start a business? To make a profit. And how will he make a profit? How will this business be able to make a profit? Having income and expenditure. So income increases the owner's equity. The more money that, or let me say different, the more you receive for, say, current income or your sales, if that's higher, your income will increase, and that means that you will make more profit. Alright, so your income increases your profit, and the profit is owner's equity, belongs to the owner. And an example of an income is like current income, rent income. But I only wrote your current income because in this example we're going to use current income. Alright, and then what decreases your owner's equity? Expenses. Because if the business pays out money because they have to pay the telephone account, that decreases the owner's profit, and that's why expenses will be debited. Now, I only gave these 4 examples because we're going to work with advertising, fuel, water, electricity, and salaries. So you have to complete these columns now. So you need to really know this. If you don't know what I'm trying to tell you here, then you won't be able to complete these columns. So I'm going to try to make it easy for you so that you can just maybe look at it again. Please go and study your definitions and what's assets and what's owner's equity. All right. So if I look at vehicles, that's an asset. All right. Bank is an asset. Okay. So what's going to happen now? Both of those transactions are assets. But what happened? You've purchased a vehicle. So your vehicle is going to increase your assets. And what did you use? You used a check. You made a payment. So the money came out of your bank account. So your bank account is going to decrease. So your bank account is going to be credited. Right? So that's going to decrease your assets. And if you look at your transaction on page 97, it says there 118 Rand was paid. So that means that your vehicle, the value increased with 118 Rand, but your bank decreased with 118 Rand. Both of those accounts are assets. If we look at the second one on the 12, bank is an asset, but your current income is an income, and that's owner's equity, and it increases your owner's equity. Why? Because you've received money, so your profit's going to increase. Remember, owner's equity is capital, drawings, and the net profit. But how do you calculate your net profit? Your income minus your expenditure. Income increases your profit, expenses decrease your profit. Okay? So now when you go, your bank is going to increase because you've received money, and current income is going to increase your profit. And whose profit is that? The owner's profit. So it's owner's equity. And then on the 12, they said the money that you've received was 17,400 Rand. Okay, if we look at the transaction on the 13th, check counterfoil, that means we've made a payment. So money went out of my bank account. So my bank is an asset account, so my bank's going to decrease. There's a mistake, spelling mistake. Okay, sorry. Advertising is what? Expense. And what does an expense do? It decreases my owner's equity. So what do you have to remember? My owner's equity decreases because I paid out money for advertising, and advertising decreases the profit that this business is going to make because they had to pay out some money for an expense. Alright, so now you just have to go and see on the 30th, the amount was 3,800. Your bank is an asset, it decreased because the money went out of your bank account, and you made a payment for an expense, and an expense is going to decrease your owner's equity. Let's write it like that, owner's equity. Alright, then on the 21st, what did you do? You paid by check. What did you buy? Equipment. Equipment is an asset, and bank is also an asset. Can you see that it's going to be exactly the same transaction as vehicles? All right. So what's happened? My equipment increased, but my bank decreased. Both of those general ledger accounts are asset accounts. Right. So the amount on the 21st is 5430. So my bank is going to decrease with 5430, and my equipment account will increase with 543. Okay, sorry, I was interrupted. And then on the 25th, okay, you see you made a payment. So your bank is an asset. Your bank decreases because money went out of your bank account. What did you buy with your money? An expense. You paid an expense. And what does an expense do? It decreases your owner's equity. It decreases the business profit. And remember, the profit belongs to the owner. Alright, so owner's equity decreases. And when you go see the amounts, 295. Okay, then on the 30th, you made a payment for water and electricity. Can you see it's exactly the same as on the 13th and on the 25th? Alright, so you made it's an expense, water and electricity, and your owner's equity is going to decrease. You made a payment, your bank is an asset, money went out of your bank account, so your asset is going to decrease. On the 30th, water and electricity, 2,400 Rand. Boys and girls, you just need to know what's an asset, what's owner's equity. Alright, then on the 30th, drawings. Drawings decreases your owner's equity. Alright, so it's not an expense, please. Drawings is not an expense. Alright, but drawings is always also owner's equity because only the owner is allowed to withdraw out of the business bank account for personal use. Alright, so it decreases your owner's equity, and bank is an asset. Your bank is going to decrease because the owner took money out of the bank account. Your bank account decreases with an amount of 2,000. And your owner's equity decreases with 2,000. And then the last one is going to be exactly the same as the 13th, the 25th, and the first one on the 30th. Because what's salary? Salary is an expense. An expense decreases my owner's equity. And bank is an asset. And money went out of my bank account. I made a payment. So my bank account decreases with an amount of 13,000 Rand. Boys and girls, homework please. You have to go and do exercise 41. Okay? That will continue on lesson 10. Alright? And that is for Friday. The 3rd of July. Please, homework, exercise 41, Friday the 3rd. Thank you.